Tonight we're going to do a redfish pattern. It's a bendback. Its namesake is the Greenan redfish fly, named after a local captain, Captain Pete Greenan. Pete and I have known each other for better than 25 years, and I thought I'd give him a quick plug by saying you can find his charter service through floridaflyfishing.com. Pete's been fishing the back country of Boca Grande for many years for redfish, and this is one fly that he created for working back in the back harbors. It's a great redfish fly, and I thought I'd give it a nod. This is a pretty simple fly to tie. Nothing particularly fancy about it. We're going to start off with a Mustad 34011 size number 2 hook. That's the long shank version of this stainless Mustad. I'm working with Flymaster Plus. I'm using light olive. This fly is going to be an olive one. It can also be tied in brown. I like the olive. We're going to thread all the way down to the very end of the shank of the hook before it starts migrating downhill. Once we've reached that point, I'm going to thread forward to the bend in the hook. Now, if you don't know how to bend a hook, I recommend definitely checking out one of my other videos about bending a hook. It's very important that you don't overbend the hook. If you do, you're never going to catch a fish with the fly. It's critical, the angle that you bend. Anyway, go back to the other video. I'm going to place a 6/32 lead eye, which is considered small, right in the bend of the hook. Now, since it is a redfish fly and you definitely need to get it down deep, we're going to add a little bit of lead behind the lead eye. Now, you could wrap the shank with lead, smaller lead wire. I'm using some 35 thousandths lead wire, which is fairly stout, and it's important that we get this tied right down on the top of the shank of the hook. And I'm going to go all the way back to the back. Break it off. Now we're going to bring in some variegated olive chenille, like this stuff. Pluck off the end, and we're going to tie that in, clearing it back here. And I'm going to again continue to secure my lead wire down to the shank of the hook. Come right there in front of the lead eyes. Now, I am going to glue with some Dave's Flex Mint. You know, you can never use too much glue. You want the fly to stay together. This is a good idea. I'm going to bring in my rotary feature, my rotary arm, and we're going to wrap this body with the variegated chenille, and I'm tying in right behind the lead eyes. Bring my thread back there again, and I'm going to put a couple of wraps to hold it in place for now. Come back in front of the lead, and at this point I'm going to flip the hook over in the vise so I can tie in my bucktail. I'm using a light olive bucktail. I'm getting a fair amount of bucktail, but not too much. It's important that you get enough that it acts as a weed guard, being a bendback. And I'm going to place that on the hook so it's about 2 lengths of the hook shank. We're going to trim that off. Try to get this out of the way. And I'm going to tie it in on top. Okay, now for the only odd material in this is, I'll show you a whole one first. This is a pheasant, ringneck pheasant feather off of the breast. There's a name for it. I can't think of it at the moment. I've already pre-trimmed a couple of these. I'm going to tie one in on your side, and then I'm going to tie one in on my side. Okay, a couple of wraps to make sure everything is secured. At this point I'm going to put another little drop of glue, kind of glue everything down, make sure it stays in place. Now I'm going to bring my chenille back in. I'm going to bring it under the lead eye, and I'm going to wrap this forward piece. Tie the chenille down. Okay, give it a trim, a couple of more wraps, just make sure, and I'm going to whip finish. Okay, in my haste, I forgot to put in the flash. The step after you tie in the bucktail, tie in 3 or so strands of crystal flash, fold it across, and have it come on up there. But otherwise, that is the Greenan redfish fly. Excellent fly. Used to be an Orvis endorsed pattern, by the way. Anyway, simple to tie. Try one for yourself. Thanks.